Cardi B blows out after Stefon Diggs' shocking surprise, a night no one saw coming. What started as a quiet, low-key evening turned into one of the most explosive, emotional moments Cardi B has ever experienced. No cameras announced it. No teaser posts hinted at it. No leaks made the rounds. And that was exactly why it hit so hard. Cardi thought she knew the plan. She didn't. The calm before the shock. Earlier that day, Cardi had been in her element, laughing, recording snippets, firing off jokes to her team. She'd teased her fans online, playful as ever, not a single crack in her armor. To the world, she looked unstoppable. Untouchable. Confident. But inside, she was tired. Tired of surprises that turned into disappointments. Tired of trusting moments that fell apart. Tired of carrying strength like a shield every single day. So when Stefon Diggs told her to just relax tonight, she rolled her eyes, smirked, and said, "Boy, you better not be up to nothing." He just smiled. That should have been the first sign. The setup nobody noticed. The room was warm, dimly lit, intimate. Soft music hummed in the background. Nothing extravagant. Nothing suspicious. Cardi stepped in, heels clicking, energy loud as always, but then she paused. Something felt off. The air was different. Too quiet. Too intentional. She turned to Stefon with a half-laugh. "Why you look like that?" He didn't answer. Instead, he reached into his pocket. And that's when everything changed. The surprise that broke the moment. What Stefon revealed wasn't just one thing. It was layered. First, words. Words Cardi had never heard from anyone before. Not like this. Not with this weight. Not without excuses, not wrapped in ego, not softened to avoid vulnerability. He spoke about patience. About growth. About watching her fight battles the world never sees. Then came the second part. Something tangible. Something symbolic. Something so personal that Cardi's laughter died mid-breath. Her smile froze. Her eyes widened. The room spun. Cardi blows out, not in anger, but emotion. Cardi B is known for going off. Loud. Fearless. Unfiltered. But this? This was different. Her voice cracked before she even realized she was crying. She took a step back, hands shaking, breath uneven. "Why would you do this to me right now?" she asked, half joking, half breaking. Her emotions hit all at once. Shock. Gratitude. Fear. Love. Overwhelm. She covered her face, pacing the room, laughing and crying at the same time. The walls had finally come down, and when they did, they crashed. "I don't play about my feelings," she said through tears. "And you know that." Stefon didn't interrupt. Didn't rush. Didn't defend. He waited. The silence that spoke loudest. In that pause, no music, no voices, no distractions, something rare happened. Cardi let herself feel. No performance. No persona. No armor. Just a woman standing in the aftermath of a surprise that touched something deep. She finally looked at him and whispered, "You really see me." And that was it. Why this moment hit so hard. This wasn't about money. It wasn't about flexing. It wasn't about headlines. It was about intention. Stefon Diggs didn't just surprise Cardi, he met her where she was emotionally. He chose timing. He chose sincerity. He chose depth over spectacle. And Cardi? She blew out because for once, the surprise didn't demand strength from her. It gave her safety instead. Aftermath, fans would have lost it. If the world had seen this moment live, the internet would have gone into a full meltdown. Clips replayed. Theories flying. Fans divided between "OMG this is real" and "I knew it." But the beauty of it? This moment didn't belong to the internet. It belonged to them. Final thought. Sometimes the loudest reactions come from the quietest truths. And when Cardi B blew out after Stefon Diggs' surprise, it wasn't chaos, it was clarity. A reminder that even the strongest hearts can still be caught off guard. And sometimes, that's exactly what they need. Cardi B blows out after Stefon Diggs' shocking surprise, the moment nobody saw coming, face screaming in fear. The room was buzzing before anything even happened. Cameras were already rolling, whispers rippling through the crowd like static before a storm. Nobody could quite explain why the energy felt so heavy, so electric, only that something big was about to go down. And then, it did. When Cardi B walked in, she was all smiles. Confident. Glowing. The kind of presence that makes every head turn without her trying. She laughed with a few people, waved to familiar faces, and took her seat, completely unaware that the night was about to flip upside down. Across the room stood Stefon Diggs, calm on the outside, but visibly tense to anyone paying close attention. Hands clasped. Jaw tight. Eyes scanning the crowd, then landing on Cardi, and lingering there. That's when everything changed. The surprise that stopped the room cold. The host paused mid-sentence. A producer whispered something. The lights dimmed just slightly, not enough to alarm anyone, but enough to signal that this wasn't part of the script. Stefon stepped forward. At first, Cardi laughed, thinking it was a joke. A playful moment. Maybe a shout-out. Maybe something light-hearted. But then she saw his face. The smile faded instantly. He wasn't joking. The room went silent as Stefon took the mic. No music. No hype. Just raw tension hanging in the air. He started calmly, thanking people, acknowledging the moment, but then his voice shifted. Lower. Slower. He looked directly at Cardi and said words no one expected to hear there, like that, in public. A surprise announcement. Personal. Emotional. And completely unfiltered. Cardi's reaction, from shock to explosion. At first, Cardi froze. Her eyes widened. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. You could see the thoughts racing through her mind in real time. Confusion. Disbelief. Hurt. Anger. All colliding at once. Then she stood up. Chairs scraped. Gasps echoed. Phones shot into the air. "This is not how you do this," she said, her voice shaking, but loud enough for everyone to hear. The room collectively held its breath. Cardi wasn't crying yet. This was the before, that dangerous calm right before the storm breaks. She paced. Pointed. Asked questions she clearly hadn't prepared for, because she never expected to need them. Stefon tried to respond. Tried to explain. That's when Cardi blew out. The blowout everyone will be talking about. Her voice cracked as emotion finally broke through. Not just anger, betrayal. She spoke fast, words tumbling over each other, calling out the timing, the setting, the audacity. "You could have told me this in private," she said. "You chose this moment." The crowd was stunned. Some people looked away, uncomfortable. Others couldn't stop watching. Cameras zoomed in as her eyes glassed over. Her hands trembled. This wasn't performance. This wasn't drama for attention. This was real. Stefon stood there, visibly shaken. For the first time all night, he looked unsure, like maybe he hadn't thought this through as well as he believed. Behind the scenes, what fans didn't see. Sources later whispered that this surprise had been planned for weeks, but with good intentions. A bold move. A grand moment. Something he thought would prove honesty, courage, and transparency. But Cardi saw it differently. To her, it felt like being cornered. Put on display. Forced to react instead of respond. And that's what hurt the most. Backstage, things got even more intense. Voices raised. Tears finally falling. Friends stepping in to separate them before words turned into scars that couldn't be taken back. At one point, Cardi reportedly locked herself in a private room, asking for water, air, space. She was overwhelmed, one insider said. Not weak, overwhelmed. The internet erupts fire. Within minutes, clips hit social media. Did you see Cardi's face? Stefon messed up bad. She didn't deserve that. Others defended him, saying honesty takes courage, that surprises aren't always perfect. But one thing was clear. Everyone was talking. Trending topics exploded. Reaction videos flooded timelines. Fans took sides. Analysts broke down body language frame by frame. And Cardi? She said nothing. The morning after, silence speaks loudest. The next day, Cardi posted a single message, short, cryptic, but powerful. Give me time. Respect my space. No names. No explanations. Stefon followed hours later with his own message, apologetic, reflective, and noticeably humbled. But the damage? Still fresh. Still raw. What happens next? No one knows. Will this moment break them, or force the real conversations that were overdue? Was the surprise a mistake, or the spark that finally brought truth into the open? And can something this explosive ever cool down quietly? One thing is certain. This wasn't just a surprise. This was a turning point. And fans will be watching every single move from here on out.
나는 아래를 쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주 행비행 신비한 세계로 나를 이끌고 거짓말처럼 하늘을 날며 어느새 제주 바다가 내게로 와 있네. 있어. 아래엔 간혹 도시가 보이곤 해. 그 도시에는 또 다른 내가 하늘에 떠가는 비행기를 올려다보고 있겠지. 난 하늘 쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주행 비행 신비한 세계로 나를 이끌고 거짓말처럼